We are very fortunate tonight to have folks from all over North Carolina, maybe some other states as well. Got a great crowd with us tonight. Looking forward to working with all of us. Our main topics tonight is what are we going to do to avoid making those big mistakes as we're taking risks trying to get our businesses started. Just a few businesses make it for the long haul compared to all the ones that get started and have to go out of business. We do want to avoid that, and that's why we're talking about it tonight like we are. So our title is Making the Big Decisions and Taking the Big Risks for the Long Haul. That's what we're going to be up to. I come from an area of North Carolina, central North Carolina tobacco farmers. Started my adult life serving tobacco farmers when the farmers were transitioning out of mules in the fields over to tractors. And an old saying that a lot of my farmers used to say, and some of their grandsons still do, was when you're in business and you're trying to decide what to do, which decision to make, whether to go right or left, up or down, many of them would say oftentimes, you know, Steve, it's like looking at the south end of a northbound mule and trying to figure out what's going on in his head. It's like looking at the south end of a northbound mule and trying to figure out what's going on in his head. So just picture yourself in the business of tobacco farming 50, 60 years ago, following the mule and trying to decide how in the world you were going to plan your day and your business and your farm to make things happen. So I can see how that saying's going. It's not a lot different today, but indeed we do have more tools to work with, and we don't have to walk behind that mule now. We can go on the computer and talk with Steve-O or the small business centers or AI and maybe get more information than looking at the south end of a northbound mule. So God bless the mules and all the fellas and ladies that made it through the years. That's all they had to work with. We need to find the wisdom to stay in business, and we need to find it as soon as we can. We need to learn how to forecast our pivot points and see the red flags that let us know they're coming. Diversity is going to be a major key to helping us avoid risk and make better decisions. And there's some basic critical mistakes that so many new businesses make that you can avoid, and I hope to bring those to your attention. The best things we can do is to have a risk management strategy to identify and mitigate the risk. We have to know that the setbacks are going to come and be mentally and physically and morally prepared to rebound from the setbacks and make them turn into wisdom. And we need to have a goal so that we know that we can have a mission accomplished and be proud of that fact. All these play in, and I'm Steve Carver. I've been at it for 68 years and counting, still doing business today. I've been doing it since I was 12 years old, and just look forward to working with you guys. It is my indeed pleasure, and I get my gratification from watching y'all move forward. And hopefully the things that we share here from me and that y'all share with each other go a long way to helping your business be very successful for a long, long time. I am not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I'm just a fellow that's been here for a long time and certainly glad to share good advice. And we're so fortunate tonight to have C. Johnson Sheffield from over in Warsaw, who is a long-term CPA, focused mainly on helping entrepreneurs get started. I've already asked Mr. Sheffield if he would chime in from time to time and offer any comments that he may have, because he is truly a professional, but we're all offering free advice, so that you will take it that way and just to try to have a mutual helpfulness here as we go. We're sponsored by the James Sprunt Community College Small Business Center. The campus is at Kenansville, North Carolina. The Small Business Center is over in Warsaw, and they are a fantastic group of people at the Small Business Center, being led by Joey Wynn, who's the director there, and a fantastic lady, great businesswoman, entrepreneur herself, writer herself, publishing her own books. But she is just really, really helpful and will do all she can to help you. Several of you have visited with Joey and have attested to that, so Thank you, Joy, for all the work that you're doing and for sponsoring this series. This series, The Long Haul, was actually Joy's original idea. She called me up and asked me if I would put together a program to do it. Since I'd been probably the senior presenter in the circuit, on the Chitlin circuit, we'll call it, I was happy to accept the challenge 2 years ago. So we've refined it this year, and hopefully it's even will be more helpful for you. 17, that's a lot of study guides that you've been emailed, or that I will email you tomorrow if you hadn't already got them. 17 study guides reinforcing all that we're talking about tonight. I don't have time, and y'all don't need to hear it because get them in email and we'll talk about them a little later, but there's a lot of study material coming your way. I emailed several advanced copies to you already. I hope you had a chance to look them over, so it's really good. Let me mention that this week on Thursday night, you'll be welcome to join another course that we're wrapping up. Thursday night, we're talking about entrepreneurial basic taxes, depreciation, and deal closing. Just basic information. You certainly benefit from that. And then next Monday, a week from tonight, our theme is the generations thing, which is super important and valuable for all of us to be aware of. And what I have learned and realized during the last year after teaching this class twice is that so many of us have just missed the boat and didn't see this coming. And after considering it in my business and my associates' businesses, we're seeing that it is making a major difference to be aware of how generations think and do things different, and why we need to be aware of that and plan to make it work. I have been keeping up with your attendance, and we've got a lot of people that is perfect attendance. I really appreciate your fact that you're doing that, and we'll be keeping up with that so that you're seeing if you will qualify for your course completion certificates and members of the Academy completion. I look forward to seeing you all keep coming back, so we'll keep up with it and go from there. It's all about you, and we try to monitor each other and what you're doing. I want to encourage y'all to share on chat and make it all go good. One of our senior member of the Academy is Sarita Sampson, and she'll be the one that's designing and printing and helping us get the new certificates out to you each semester. She also does a world of other work with business cards, presentations, different types of virtual assistance for folks with their new business. So she is not only serving the Academy, but she'd be glad to serve you. Our number one roofing contractor in Charlotte, North Carolina is Sonia Roberts, and give her a big shout out. Thank you, Sonia, for the work that you're doing, and please stay safe. Please stay safe and make it really good for you and for your crew. LT Wright, our brand new licensed massage therapist, is over in Durham getting her practice started. Jessica Melvin has jumped into the groove, trying to get her business up and running. And thank you so much for the correspondence with Kia Morrow and Kenansville with her business. She has really been pumping her promotions on Facebook and I guess other places as well. I hope it's working out for you. And I want y'all to be sharing followers and checking with each other on Facebook as I've been sending to you. Learning more about Amber Sampson is going to be a treat. She's just getting ready to start her debut hopefully this fall. So we'll be learning more about her costume business, and that's going to be great. Sherry, we're looking forward to helping you promote your book, just like Dr. Mary's doing. So we're looking forward to hearing from you. You keep at it. We'll be ready to help you with it. David, good to see you again tonight, and thank you for your contributions and sharing information with us. David shared last week, and I'll take a moment to talk about it, that he's been working with his local community college and high school early college programs, and some of those high school and community college programs are looking for ways to assist new entrepreneurs. And so you might want to see if those opportunities are available through your small business center or through your local high school with the advanced students that are looking for projects to do for their grades. He's getting a lot of help with his videos and other matters. Edna Jackson, long-term Master 5 Associate of the Academy, joins us on a regular basis. And here's Christina. Christina is wide open with her pet sitting business over in the Clinton area, and now offering to house sit and look after your plants and other factors. In other words, just a general all-around service provider for folks that need someone to come into their home, look after pets and plants and such as that. So thank you, Christina, and good luck to you. Proud of your work. And here's Veronica, one of our primary go-getters this semester. She finished all of her homework right to begin with, just like Dr. Mary did. She's working really hard to get her in-home care service up and running with good, dependable employees and regular customers. So thank you, Veronica, and all the assistance that you've done. She gets an extra shout out and thank you for doing an outstanding job in pushing the Facebook followers campaign and being in touch with all of you. So that's mutual helpfulness at its best, and thank you so much. Dr. Austin, moving up from Atlanta to Roanoke Rapids to bring her mini farm. I can't wait to hear more about that, probably this fall. And the Fairyland Farm, I think that's great. Looking forward to hearing more. Chessa, Our Lady in the Military, Our Lady serving this country. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. God bless you for your sacrifices and your long-term service. And I look forward to seeing more from Chessa. Her dream is to get a halfway house established in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we want to help her all we can. And there's Shannon. Hey, Shannon, good to have you back with us tonight. Shannon's in Faison, revitalizing his electrical services business, and looking forward to hearing a new reinvention and generation of SD King and Son services. Keep us posted on your progress and which way you want to go. Also, another contractor that indeed has already done all the homework, did it first class. JLD Designs is Jennifer DeLeon, and based in Dudley, North Carolina, serving the greater Mount Olive and Goldsboro market. Jennifer, we are so proud of you with all the work you've put out in Facebook and I'm sure other social media, and sharing with us the good results that you're getting. Thank you for sharing that you've had good experiences working with your small business centers, and we appreciate what you're doing and hope it pays you good dividends. And there's Dr. Mary, who sat back in the shadows for about 6 years, but this year, wide open now here working now, introducing tonight. And thanks for sharing that with us tonight, introducing her brand new book. We'll hear a lot more about that. Hopefully we'll see something in chat. I see it already. She's already posted, so look over there. Let's check that out. Order you a copy, and let's make this thing work in a hurry for you. Congratulations, Dr. Mary. I've published 5 books, and I think I've probably sold at least 22 copies over a 5-year period, but at any rate, really more than that. They've done quite well. So it's an exciting time when you can publish a book and get it out, and we're really excited for you. Justin, you are #1 with the cleaning presentations, and just so happy to see that you're doing that. So many of us in this business. I was in the cleaning business. I had a cleaning business for 10 years as well, and I can appreciate all the work that you're doing and making it work. Looking forward to more videos from you, and keep the information coming. I imagine that you, like so many of us, we're going to have good business coming in and then have to start finding employees to make it work. Sometimes that's the biggest challenge, and we're going to kind of talk about that tonight a little bit, so that should help. So as always in my classes, it's really all about you, and I want to promote your business. And as you're doing things or seeing problems or trying to get to that next step, and if there's issues you'd like for me to bring out in our lessons, please let me know. Send me an email. Let me know. Put right over in chat. Address this problem or that problem, or I'd like to have a meet and talk about this with the Small Business Center. We are here to serve. Your success is our goal. There's no doubt about it. So this semester, I started doing a special topics. I plan to do that through the fall, just to keep the lessons interesting, so you'll want to come back time after time. We've been talking about the Godfather series, and it's not personal. It isn't personal. It's just business. The Godfather would say that oftentimes to make you that deal you couldn't refuse, and sometimes that deal really hurt. And sometimes in business we can say that too. Through the years in my older age now, I've seen this. It isn't personal. It's just business thinking sometimes cause some real problems, and so I wanted to address that, because if it becomes an excuse for someone to make their business decisions and in an unethical or uncaring way, then there's a problem there. And as a member of the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates, that's not where we want to go. We want our decisions to be based as much as possible on mutual helpfulness. We don't want ego. We don't want ego to have us make decisions so that we can feel like we can avoid emotional consequences, because eventually they're going to catch up with you. We have to be careful in the best of times and worst of times to kind of keep our ego under control. Now, in no way am I saying that you don't want charisma and you don't want confidence and you don't want the ability to boost for yourself and to blow your own bugle. All that is necessary in marketing. All that is necessary in motivation, but letting the ego push you to the point that you're losing your humanity, that's not a good thing. Apathy will creep right in there when you're thinking strictly business, and sometimes it makes you just kind of disregard the human element of the decisions we're making, and that too will creep up on you and kill your legacy in the long term. There's no doubt about it. How do you fight it? Doing the best you can, thinking all the ways you can to grow your business 100% of the time. As I was talking with Jennifer earlier, I mean, you can burn your candle at both ends and just as full speed ahead. And when you're going full speed ahead, sometimes you're not really listening like you're trying to talk and give orders. We do have to listen and hear what other people are saying. We have to have a mindset that we welcome feedback. We welcome constructive criticism. When you do that, when you welcome constructive criticism and you've got the mindset that it's a gift to you, it's a gift, that's a good thing. So we have to find that balance. Our goal is to balance the passion with growth by having objective detachment so that we can hold on to our empathy as we're making decisions, hold on to our humanity. The hardest part of leadership isn't making the right decisions, as we'll talk about tonight, but it's living with the fact that even the right business decision, even the best decision you can make, oftentimes may cause someone else pain. And realizing that. So even though you have to make the decision, realizing that there's a pain factor involved for somewhere else, and being willing enough to weigh that in when you're making the call, and doing it in the most humane and just way and kind way that you can. That's doing the best we can do. And when that's happening, it's not personal. It's just business. So good luck with that. Give it some thought. That was our last special lesson on that, and I hope it sinks in and does some good. A lot of businesses get started. Very few make it for the long haul. What separates them? In our series, some of you are new tonight, so let me share with you that in each class, I want us to focus on networking with each other, with what is AI happening in your business and in your world, and stand in the reality that the train is leaving the station. AI is picking up speed. I want us all to be able to say that we're on board at whatever point you can to start picking up ways that you can use AI to benefit your business. AI is brand new, but customer service and hospitality have been around forever. But let me tell you, with new businesses in today's world, customer service and hospitality has been left at the train station. And those of us that stay with it, remember how important it is, will indeed be the ones that make it for the long haul. We have got to marry up with customer service and hospitality, indeed with AI and new technologies to make it. And when we do all that, and we keep humanity involved in it, you will be in a league of your own, which is a pretty good place to be, and I want you to be there. So let me encourage you to get over on the chat board, use it as a networking tool during our classes. All through the years, I see many of you come back time and time again, start making friends and contacts. And you know, maybe not this course or the next one, but it's somewhere down the line, you're going to remember that Sherry is in this type of business or offering this kind of service. And Veronica may be the person that you want to refer one of your friends to. And Mr. Johnson Sheffield is the right CPA in our area and ready and willing to help entrepreneurs get started. And if you're over in the mountains, Hope is doing so much good to help people with their personal challenges and health challenges as well as a nurse, and just got a wonderful program over there. So we're always glad to see Hope come back on board and be with us. All of you are special. Every one of you are doing great things, and there's a greatness in each one of you that we need to keep moving forward. So let's talk with each other, get to know each other better, and make it work. Did you do something with AI this week? I have to ask that question. Are you thinking about it? Did you have the opportunity to use it? Well, personally, I haven't used it this week because it's Monday, but I made a commitment to myself this morning as I laid into bed making priorities. This week I am going to go to AI to help me put together a new presentation coming up in the next few months, and I'll try to use 2 different platforms to see how the 2 different platforms react to the questions I asked. So I'm planning on doing more, and I want to encourage y'all to do it. Several of y'all have told me that AI is really already helping you. I think I can see it in your presentations, and going from there is just really, really important. Justin, I appreciate you sharing what you've been doing with it, because it's very evident that you've got some really good-looking promotions coming out. And I appreciate that you shared that AI gave you some help with that. So that's very good. You don't have to be a huge business to take advantage of it. Even startups, even pre-startups can use AI to help you so much. There's so many tools out there with you. Artificial intelligence gives you many benefits. Know that. Get on the train. Let's make it happen so you can change. Writing tools, text-to-speech tools, chatbots, art forms. That's something I want to really learn about. Doing different analysis and business plans, collaboration tools, customer relationship managements, and natural processing and such as that. In the presentation tonight, I visited AI last year to get some information. It was my first experience with AI, so you'll see some of the results of my research through AI. You can literally get more research done in 2.5 seconds than you can in 2.5 months once you learn AI. And man, let me tell you, that is saving a lot of time and giving you lots of good ideas. The possibilities are just endless. So I am promoting it, and I am encouraging us all to get on board. Going the extra mile with customer service. Let's talk about that a little bit. Getting back to really the basics here. And what this is it's not the name tags or remembering people's names like we talked about last week. But think about this. When we have a mindset to try to anticipate and forecast possible problems that our customers will have with our service or our products, it goes a long way for you helping them avoid mistakes and negative situations. When you give the customer better information on how to use your product, and give them some footnotes and warnings about safety or caution about things they might not want to do, and help them avoid a possible problem down the road, goes a long way for them just cementing in you a feeling of confidence and trust. So don't be worried about telling the customer about a potential issue that if they do something one way or another with your product or service, they're going to be a whole lot more satisfied. You're the expert here. And part of being an expert means giving them the bad news, giving them those warnings, like on the medicine labels that we see and TV commercials. They tell you the warnings up front. Sometimes that turns me off big times, but when you learn to do it professionally, it will indeed improve your presentation. Anticipating the customer's potential uses and how they can best use the product and the service goes a long way to helping you have a long-term relationship with them. So hospitality, now let's spend a second or two on that. There's some small details that make a huge, huge difference. An introduction, remembering names, and remember how important that taste and smell and sounds are really big factors. So as you're making your presentations, as you're making your introductions, you want to really say their names. Remember, you want to remember their names, and you want to keep saying their names. There's no better sounding words to a potential customer than their own name. And hearing you say it and them recognizing that you are using that and it's sinking in you is saying to them, okay, we're building a long-term relationship here, and they will in turn start using your name. And you encourage them in your presentation to do that. The next time you see them down the street or in a meeting somewhere and they walk up to you, whether or not you've got a name tag on or not, and you remember their name or they remember yours, that's a big check mark. Because in today's world of computers, that's not happening a lot. So that personality, getting those names on board, just go a long, long way on making it work. Taste, smell, and sounds. Smell, not too much cologne, and if you are using some, make sure it's pleasant. Not around dogs, no smoking. Leave those tobacco odors away because it makes some people just sick and they don't want to be around it. If you're serving up food, candies, handouts, chocolate cookies, things like that, remembering that putting a good taste in someone's mouth, by golly, starts with that taste. So use that. I had many professional salesmen that have called on me through the years, and they would have a mint or a certain little candy bar miniature that was kind of their trademark. As a matter of fact, I don't remember which salesman it was, but several of them actually had some candies wrapped with their own advertising on it, and would always say, "Hey, Steve, I'll come by just to put a good taste in your mouth." And you remember things like that. They go a long way. Pleasant sounds in your office or where you're around, that background music, the sounds that you use maybe at your website or the background music that you're doing on your videos can be very, very important. And I want to challenge you now to listen to those strip videos that are playing on Facebook and Instagram now. Some of the music is absolutely awful and does nothing to help promote the product. A little bit more thought going into that would certainly go a long, long way, so I would encourage you to do that. The small details make a major, major difference. Do you want to be in a league of your own? You're darn right you do. You're putting your lifetime's work, your reputation, the way people are going to remember you tomorrow. Yeah, legacies work for tomorrow as long as, indeed, just as much as they do for the long haul. Tonight, tomorrow, you are writing your legacy. Remember that, because the little things that you do now go a long, long way. We started talking about in a league of your own in week 1 with Nathan's famous hot dogs. Then we picked it up with the Bright Leaf products out of Smithfield, North Carolina. Then we talked about Stacy's restaurant here in Dunn and the challenges that she's facing and how she's handling that going on now. Then last week we went to the smallest business that we've talked about, which is the car wash over in Elizabethtown, and what a great little business that is. And our prayers go out to the 2 owners there and to their son who's keeping the car wash going. The 2 owners are having some serious health problems right now, and we're all praying and pulling for them. But tonight is a different story. I had the honor and privilege of knowing the founders of the Carly C's organization right here in Dunn, North Carolina. Matter of fact, I shopped in one of their stores today, and we'll talk about them at length right now. Carly C. and Joyce McClam from the area between Dunn and Benson, out in the Broadslab community, you might say, married and young, and came from not wealthy families and started their own business as Carly C. Basically started his business himself with his wife by his side. And now the they have passed recently, and their son, Mac McClam, Carly C. Jr., is the head honcho there and keeping it running. So it's truly a family-owned business, no doubt. 100% of the credit of the information I'm sharing with you now came from their website. So I'm happy to do that. But Carly C. started out as a young man as a butcher, working for other people, and then decided to start his own store in 1961. He opened just a small little country store out in Johnston County on Highway 242, and had a lot of challenges back in those days to get started. That was about 3 years after we started our business in Dunn. But he knew what hard work was. He was a single employee in a butcher shop, a small grocery store. But it wasn't long before the local community really appreciated his prices and his hard work and his hours and customer service, and business really did well. So he started, I had a chance to lease another grocery store that I had some room between Dunn and Benson. And when he started operating that store, it did really, really well, and business just started flocking in. Well, the owner of that store told him, well, Carly C., I appreciate you building my business up here. I think I'm going to let you go, and I'll just keep running this myself. About I kicked him out of the store after a couple of years. So that's what you call a curveball coming at you, but it didn't stop him. By 1964, the lease had not been renewed, and Carly C. and his wife had to do something. So in 65, they started their own store. They built another store from 65 through 71 and doubled the size of it. And indeed, the business just kept coming. Now, this is still a small country store between Dunn and Benson out on 301, right in the middle of the country. And in those days, they were the only store at that crossroads where they were. In just a few years, the business has grown. He opened up a similar small store in Coates. And then a few years later, another one in Irwin, all these kind of surrounding Dunn. All these stores were fairly small at the time, but now they're regular size grocery stores to do it. But here comes another curveball. That big store that they built, the biggest one between Dunn and Benson, was destroyed by fire with not one penny of insurance coverage, not one penny. It was an awful day in this community because everybody loved Carly C. and Joyce's store, and they served the whole community, and the store was just completely destroyed by fire. It was a sad day for them, but you know what? The customers said, you build back, we'll be here with you. And in no time, they had rebuilt that store and ran it there for all the way up to 1984. This building is still standing. They're using it for a warehouse now. Matter of fact, I passed by it today, going there. So in 1986, they opened a brand new store in Dunn, right here about a mile from my home where I went today and bought some vittles over there. And now, guess what? 33 stores and growing. 33 stores across North Carolina and South Carolina. They purchased and rebranded big Piggly Wiggly stores in Zebulon, Tarboro, Washington, and Roseboro, and Clinton. Now, this is an organization that started with a young fella starting out as a private butcher and his wife joining him at the counter serving groceries, selling groceries to local customers in a farming community. Now they have huge stores in Fort Oaks, Smithfield, Fayetteville, and stores in South Carolina as well. This is what you call small business at its best, and building a legend of your own all over the state. And customer service is their claim. Their new stores are big, modern, and compete with any food stores anywhere in the country, no doubt about it. They have a huge warehouse facility in Dunn, also where they package and cook some foods, do their own private label packaging. Their primary goal, their primary purpose is to love and bless the communities in which they serve, and indeed they live by that. That is their employees' code. Every time you go into one of their stores, you will see that. So starting with a little store in 1961, now with over 33 locations and sales in excess of $100 million in 2013, and prices today, there's no telling what their annual sales are. It's a big deal. They do the marketing, got a fantastic marketing effort, which you'll see everywhere. Do a great big job. They got 23,000 likes at Facebook, doing a good job there. They're doing delivery to customers like so many of the big chains are doing. Their goal, their major goal, first and last, is to be friendly and courteous. And you still see that today. That is hospitality. That is customer service. I saw it today from the young clerk that waited on me. I went in there today just because I knew I was doing this program tonight to see if I could reinforce it, and it hadn't changed a bit. And the young lady had been well trained in the right things to say, and that takes training. Someone has to show the people, has to do that. Friendly and courteous. Anything less is not sufficient with them. So stay with them. I'll send you a pretty detailed reading or study guide about this. It is interesting reading. Take the time to look it over because Carly C. and Joyce did it. Their legacy lives on with their children and their customers and with their employees primarily. It goes a long way. When you have 33 stores with probably an average of 60 employees per store, maybe even more, everybody praising the name brand, praising the customer service, praising the hospitality, that goes a long way to make it. The rest of the story is true whether your business is 1 or 2 employees as well. The same principles apply. Let's all make it happen. Carly C's, God bless you and Joyce. And Mac, thank you for keeping the tradition going on and having such a great team of employees that support you and the community. And thank you for having a great website where I found all this information. Staying in the game, the long haul, that's what we're going to do, finding the wisdom, getting the effective strategies to make it work. So now let's talk about finding the wisdom as soon as we can for a small business. The path to success lies within the knowledge that we can put together. We need to find the basic skills as we've been enhancing on Thursday nights. We need to have the emotions to go along with it, as in it's not business. I mean, it's not personal, it's business. We need to have our planning together with the dynamics to keep our ball rolling so that we can have a strong team and be ready to adapt and change to meet the changing worlds that we're doing. What are the talking points? What are the main issues? What notes are we going to make? First of all, we need to know our business. We don't need to jump into a business because we thought it sounded good, but we have to know it. We need to understand how the finances really work in this business and understand the numbers, knowing that, yeah, you want to make $60,000 this month, but how many of this and how many of that are you going to need to sell and what kind of margin to get there? Understanding the numbers are critical for you to be able to stay in the business. And once you do that, the numbers today are going to help you survive, but what's going to help you thrive for the long term, and it's going to be the planning. We don't want to panic. We want to plan, and long-term planning is a big, big deal. Number 2, we got to have a strong team around us, a strong team of people that's, whether it's employees or suppliers or tutors or mentors or advisors. Make sure that you are interested in building together a group of people that you trust and can work with. I like to think that I can be a valuable member to anybody's team, whether you agree with everything I say or not. But experience goes a long way, and that second opinion or maybe challenging opinion sometimes can do that. So I'm volunteering for you, and I can volunteer every single small business center director in this state. I think some 77 of them are in the same boat, so you can find help and good advice. We've got to learn how to delegate. We can't grow a meaningful business without being willing to delegate. Like Carly C's did, that he and Joyce could work their hearts out, but their business cannot work without having a huge, large team of people that's going to help them. So hiring the right people, having the right presentation to choose and select the right people is a key factor for long-term success. Number 3, we need to embrace continuous learning and adaptability. Our whole program here for the long term always is saying be willing to learn the new stuff, be willing to learn the AI and what it can bring to you, and adapt to changing needs as we go along. Our emotions are important. That's why I wanted to do it's not personal, it's business series, because emotions play into this so strong. And sometimes by the middle or end of one of these courses, semester after semester, I'll start getting feedback from one or two of you. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of you precious souls on board with me tonight that have shared from time to time that, man, this is tough, and I'm getting down. This is getting on top of me. How can I move on and pass this? And by golly, I know that's the truth. And there's a lot of things that we can do to help each other here, and I certainly want to do that. And a lot of y'all help each other with that. So, Dr. Mary and Sherry, I know that y'all are working on books that go in this direction, and hope. I know from our previous situations that you've dealt with this a lot, and have remedies that can possibly help folks move forward too. Emotional challenges are huge, and that's why I'm oftentimes reminded that being willing to charge your battery, finding some special time for yourself, not burning yourself out 100%. Are you listening to me, Veronica? You got to pay attention. You got to take some time for yourself, charge your battery, let some sunshine come in, get a fresh start sometimes, find times to meditate, pray, ask for help, find a friend, listen to some good music, do what you can to have a personal touch, and lead with empathy, because every single person you're working with, every single customer, dealing with the same issues, the same, all of us in this life have things that we're dealing with, and we cover them up real well. But when we're going out doing business, when we can find that individual that we can do business with and be ourselves, and maybe share with them that, look, I'm dealing with a lot too, maybe we can help each other, that goes a long way. I got a phone call this afternoon from a gentleman that I've done business with for over 40 years. Over 40 years. We started out doing business when we were in our early 20s, and that relationship goes on today. He called me up to share with me that a mutual acquaintance, associate business person that we both had known for our entire business life had passed away, and he wanted to let me know about it. And those are the kind of relationships in life and business that are so special, really, because all through the years we've shared contacts and done favors and presentations for each other. Be willing to do that. Let me tell you, when you reach the autumn years, the late 60s and on, you start being able to count the number of close friends you have on one hand. Yeah, in your 20s and 30s, you got 50 or 60, what you call close friends, but life will teach you that diminishes big time. And a lot of them that you hang on to, or that hang on to you, are the ones that you create in business. It's kind of amazing how the personal friendships develop in business. So it is personal and it is business. That's the other side of it. Lead with empathy. Be that human being you're supposed to be. Prioritize self-care. If you're sick, if you're feeling bad, if you're not able to go forward to manage stress, and you burn yourself out, your business is going to be gone. You'll have no legacy. Your legacy would be that of someone that came and went, like so many others. So Papa Steve-O here is saying to you, learn to pace yourself. Make it work. Plan for the long haul. I'm not saying do any less. I'm just saying do it at a pace that you can keep it going on and stay with a plan. And one of the best ways to do that is to find a mentor that can see and maybe give you some advice on how you can adjust this path that you're on to make it an easier path and one that will last a lot longer. Another major factor here is there are a lot of pivotal points in businesses that have made it for the long haul. And the pivotal points will start coming at you within just a few months after you establish yourself as in business and kind of the wheel starts rolling for you. And where a lot of people uh, lose track is they don't see the red flags that are coming up and saying, hey, I need to be aware of this thing that's coming at me. Because you hadn't been here before, you're new in business, and you're just pushing as hard as you can, and you're looking at the trees instead of the forest, and sometimes you don't see that important tree go by your side that's important. And we have to learn sometimes to stop, to recognize those red flags that are coming at you. So being aware, having awareness factors are really, really important. And I want you to let this sink in a little bit. Yes, you're doing what it takes to do the nuts and bolts of your particular business. But there's an outside world, a whole sphere of clouds and atmosphere swirling around all of us. And inside of that turbulence, inside of those winds is rain and sunshine and things that can really help you and things that can really hurt you. And keeping an awareness that I am a part of the bigger picture can make a difference for you. You are great. You are part of the bigger picture, and it's up to you to keep yourself with a periscope to kind of get up out of your place that you're in and be able to look around from time to time, because that's don't touch us right now. So there's three pivotal points in business, in my opinion. I'll boil it down to three pivotal points in business. There's earning points. That's your ability to earn money, the way you're making your money, a very, very important factor. The money has to come, right? We can't do without it. There's learning points, and the learning points is staying on top of the game. What do I need to know now to be effective and relevant in my business? The learning points. And that's one reason I keep beating AI to death when I've never done it before in a semester. But it's just on top of us now. And it's just so big, and it's all about learning points. All of us in our business have places that if we think about it, and we could change the way we're learning or bringing in information or shorten down our research time or improving these situations, that is learning points. And if there's ever been a red flag flying right now, it's our ability to use AI in such a way that helps us and understands how it can hurt us so that we can be prepared for it. That's an important risk management factor that I hadn't said before tonight. Risk management today is, one, how can AI help you? But just as important, how is AI going to hurt you? And we need to be thinking about that and making it a part of our long-term thinking. Learning is so big. And then there's turning points. That's the 3 points. Earning, learning, and turning. If you don't mind, go to chat. Let me see if you're paying attention. Go over to the chat board and type in learning, earning, and turning. That's the 3 pivotal points in your business and in my business for years and years to come. I want you to nail that down so that it's in your mind and you'll be thinking about it. Learning, earning, and turning points. So what are the turning points? The turning points are those factors that say, I need to make a change. I need to make a fundamental, important change and do something different. It's kind of like going down an interstate with 18 lanes on both sides, and you're in the center lane, and you know that you got to get off sometime. But that exit, you see that exit sign, and you're in the wrong lane, and there's no way you can make a turn. You got to keep on going. So what happens? You waste a lot of miles, a lot of energy, a lot of gas because you didn't see the turning point at the right time. Or maybe we're listening to the radio and we're jiving and we're shaking and we're enjoying the music and singing along, and we're just not paying attention to the exit signs or what's coming off. We're just enjoying the ride, and we miss a turning point. That's just being a human being, right? And so I'm saying right now, because I love to jive sometime, I'll play some Delbert McClinton good music, and I'll get into the music, and I'll miss an exit with the best of them, no doubt about it. It's usually not a telephone that's my problem. It's getting involved in music on the radio. Or I love to listen to books when I'm riding along, and I'll get involved in that book. And I'm thinking 10 miles down the road, and there goes the exit I needed to turn at. So that's a major mistake when we're talking about missing a turning point, and we're all going to make them doing the best we can do. Turning points are here. So here's the thing. It's either going to be a miracle or a mess. You got the chance, and it's up to me and you to do it, because sometimes these are scary situations. So just a human being in me knows that we do need more miracles than we need messes, right? So that's why we're talking about this tonight. So the pivotal points are a moment or place in time that you decide to shift and respond differently than you had before. So my challenge to each one of you now, Justin and Mary and Kia and Sarita, be aware of knowing that there's times you have to make a change. There's times that you need to make a change. And it don't need to be a spur of the moment sometimes. That's why as we're going down this journey of entrepreneurship, our radar needs to be whirling. Our periscope needs to be up and looking to see if there's a pivotal point right here. And knowing that you get a feeling about that, and that's where mentorship plays in. When you get this feeling like, I'm not sure if I need to turn here or not, I need to look at my map. Well, how do you go look at a map? You talk to someone that's been there before. You get some advice. You make a phone call. Maybe you make 2 phone calls. Okay? It can be huge for you. And there's so many times I wish I had called someone other than saying, I'm so damn smart, I don't need any help on this. I'll make this decision and roll, because I'm experienced, I'm good, I'm making good money, I got great employees. I don't need to learn anything from anyone else. Well, that's BS. And sometimes, you know what? I would call and get advice, and I didn't like it and went on with my plan, and I ended up being right lots of times. I said lots of times, not all the time. So getting that advice maybe made me change my ways a little bit. But each pivotal moment, no matter how big or small, can make a big difference in your entrepreneurial journey, because these are the places where you grow, where you find the right employees, where you learn how to be a better service provider, maybe make better deliveries, and have more freedom as a business owner. That's why this is important. Maybe in the big picture, and we're talking tonight about this, instead of focusing on the little fine points that we've been talking about in previous lessons, we're moving up here to senior class type stuff. We're moving up here to folks that are going to make it for the long haul, because these pivotal points can make a world of difference. So what are some of the things we can do to help get us there? A main factor is, as we said in week 1, is we want to diversify our profit centers. We want to have different income streams so that we're not dependent on just 1 or 2 things to keep us in business. And that takes some planning. And if you're riding along now and you're saying to yourself, well, I'm just doing serve one group of customers with one product or one service, my friend, I'm waving a red flag up at you. I'm waving a flag that says you need to find some diversity for long-term sustainability. Diversity in your income streams help you spread the risk out, giving you a multitude of different ways to make money. And when markets change, go up and down, man, like they're doing nowadays, good gracious, you need to have something that brings some stability to you. Like if you're in business today and everything you're doing depends on the price of a gallon of gasoline or diesel fuel, this is a turbulent time. This is a time that you've got a red flag flying, okay? And you want to get yourself out of that danger zone so that you have some risk management to protect you. So you want your targets. You want the customers to have things to buy from you, things that they want and things that they need. That's one important factor. You want profit centers to bring in new customers and daily traffic. You want to have some things that people would buy on impulse. You were thinking about upsells, remember? So you can say, by the way, I've got this. And we need profit centers that bring in big ticket sales. All this continues to keep the ball rolling. What are the most common mistakes that people make is not being thorough with your planning. Remember last week we talked about forecasting and such as that. So a comprehensive business plan is critical. I don't mean it has to be 50 or 60 pages long, but it has to be a structured plan. something that you remember. You go back to a structure and check off the blocks. Am I doing this? Am I doing that? Because that will help you avoid missing the turning point signs. Your business plan, when you refer back to it, helps you remember the important things, not to let sneak up on you and do that. So we're always going to be doing our research. We're always going to be changing our goals. Your goal this year may be one thing, but next year, as things change, it'll be just critically that we do that. I did some record cleanups today, and I threw away some ancient records that I didn't have to keep, and I had to part with them. And they're in the trash container out here now. But a few of them were financial statements, and I looked back at some financial statements that we had done in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, and was just amazed at how great a business we had going on with such a small amount of money compared to today's factors. What we were doing back then, selling a $12,000 combine, today costs $200,000. So the percentages and the margins and what it took to keep that business going back then compared to now, the generation thing, yeah, it's a different world. And for you guys and the younger generation folks just getting started now, you got to keep your eye on the ball, because in 5 years, you're probably going to see the same kind of changes that I have seen. What took 20 years to change now, back then may change in 5 years now, and we have to plan for that change coming at us. Yeah, this is like sitting around a coffee table chit-chatting about how we're going to forecast our business down the road. And it's an unusual conversation that I'm having with you guys, but it's real. And I want to encourage you to recognize those pivotal points a lot sooner than we used to have to. We were traveling 45 and 50 miles an hour down the interstate back then. Now you're going 100 miles an hour. So these skills have got to be really working a whole lot faster. Let me see if C. Johnson, are you listening and available to say hello? Mr. Sheffield, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Well, let me apologize for catching you off guard, but I would appreciate feedback on how far I got into this so far, and get your reaction to that.
Well, I think you're on for a lot of people that are getting started in business and having goals, having a business plan. I did put in the chat that I wanted to make a couple of comments on AI, if I could do that.
Please do. That's why I asked you.
All right. Well, I'm 75, so I am not of that younger generation that this comes natural to. But here's what I have found about AI. Folks have that answers, and we've all heard the term garbage in, garbage out. So that goes to the point of a Jimmy Buffett song that says, say what you mean and mean what you say. And that translates in AI. Take the time to write a complete and accurate prompt to minimize garbage in, garbage out, and it manufacturing some wrong answer for you.
That makes good sense. Yes, sir. Makes good sense. And was that the point you wanted to make?
That's the point I wanted to make about AI, is I found it to be really beneficial. Just like you said, I got a great report from AI over the weekend trying to deal with the North Carolina Department of Revenue agent and trying to decide different approaches to how to deal with the error that I know this agent has made. And it was really helpful to me, but I had to take the time to say what I mean and mean what I said.
I got you. Very good. And thanks for that consideration. We all appreciate you. Okay, financial planning and management. No doubt about it. You got to get your mess together and stay with it, have a good plan, but remember it has to be flexible. Avoid as much as possible mixing your business money and your personal money together. And I know that when we're first getting started, that's very hard to do. I have tremendous issues with that through my early years because I was taking personal savings money and children's financial educational money to put out fires in the business from time to time. It seemed like I had to do that for years to keep the business floating. So I know that it requires personal involvement. And I'm not saying that I don't want you to be so committed to your business that you refuse to do that rather than going into deeper debt and having to pay more interest. But I am saying this, monitor what you're doing. And when you use your personal money in your business, make sure you record it. And what you want to consider is you're making a loan to your business. You're just not pouring personal money in it as a gift. No, you're making a loan to it. And you keep up with that money that you invest in your business because someday your business will be doing well and can pay you back. And when that money comes back to you, that's usually going to come back to you tax-free. And the company can also pay you interest on that loan. Now, the interest money the company pays back to you, well, that would be taxable probably. But it's the right thing to do to keep your business going, but it's the most important thing to do is to keep it separated, at least on paper. At least on paper, so that someday you got a chance to recoup that business. And from the standpoint of a lender, if you're borrowing money or you go showing somebody a financial statement to qualify for a loan or a grant or whatever it is you're after, it's very impressive to the lender to see that you have invested in your own business, that you're willing to put your skin in the game, and you're just not asking them to do it when you're not willing to. So do the best you can to keep your personal money separate from your business money, but when they do mix, keep a good record of it so that you're loaning your company money and just not losing it in space there. Know that there's good and bad legal structures to help you move forward. Most people starting businesses today, the LLC way of incorporation is the one that fits most folks fine, but there are other considerations to do, and that's when you would want to talk to your CPA to get the advice to what's going to suit you best and how you need to move forward. Do you have to be incorporated right now if you're just getting started? Probably not, depending on the type of business you're in. There's a good chance that maybe you can operate as a sole proprietor, depending on what you're doing for a while, and get your feet on the ground, get a chance to get a feel for how the cash flow is going to work and go from there. But if you are putting yourself out there serving the public and you've got significant exposure, maybe to lawsuits or accidents or personal injuries or damages, then you want to talk to your insurance provider, just see what's going to suit you best. And probably you are headed for LLC protection or maybe even some other type. So give that some consideration. Now, what's going to keep us afloat with our customers long-term? Marketing and customer relations are certainly important. Investing in your marketing. Remember, you're not going to get a return on investment if you don't make one. Just thinking you can float along without doing any work like so many of y'all are doing. And man, I am preaching to the choir here because I've never had a class in any one semester that have really moved forward from, I'm not going to say from 0 to 100, but maybe if you were at 50 now, from people that move from 50 to 100 in their marketing efforts. I appreciate what y'all are doing. You're fantastic. I appreciate you doing. I want you to encourage other people to do it. Really get involved with just sharing your Facebook followings, because that's the way we all can share with our with all of our friends and families, and you can turn what maybe goes to 50 people and it goes to 5,000 people strictly by using guerrilla marketing with these Facebook techniques that I'm encouraging y'all to do. So do that. Customer service, you want to prioritize the customer service in your promotions. You want to put the look and hook factors in your promotion to encourage people not just to look, but let's do some business. Put the message in there to get them to come on back and let's do some business. I was so happy that Mary shared with us that she was introducing and releasing a book and telling the world about it and putting out press releases. All those are yes, 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 checking off the boxes. But if in those releases and in those messages it doesn't say, send me some money, buy my product now, it's out here for sale, it'll make a great gift for somebody for the next holiday. What a great Mother's Day gift this will be. Put the messaging in there to create motivation. Motivation. Be assertive in your pushing to get people to do business with you now. Anything else is just being nice. And y'all are all nice folks, I know that. But do you want to be nice rich folks or nice poor folks? Yeah, I want you to be very comfortable in your financial situation. And to do that, you need to get other people to reach in their pocket and give you your money. I have to say that. Maybe a little tacky, maybe a little forceful, but it's the money that's going to buy the groceries that Carly sees, right? Let's keep that in mind. We got to ask for it. We've got to have growth, and we have to see where our strengths are and our weaknesses. I've got strengths, I've got weaknesses. And tell yourself the same thing. And identify those. And when you're man and woman enough to be the entrepreneur who knows where you need to make the improvements, then we know where to go for that adaptability and for that learning process to do that. As we mentioned all through this, risk management is important, and mitigating those risks is really big, and we can't wait. We can't wait to make that happen. We need to develop the risk management plan. So, do you have one? You don't need to go put your employee in a customer's home, Veronica, unless you have a risk management plan in writing. Because we need to be able to go with each employee and check off the major risk. That's a part of the training. That's a part of the risk management so that they know and they have studied it and you have tested them. And by golly, they have signed the paper saying they have read it and this and agreed to go by these rules. That piece of paper saying that you have made them study and they are saying, I understand and will abide by, is your biggest tool to avoid some risk involved in legal issues. So it's not only thinking about it, but it needs to be in writing, especially when you're working with your employees on so many different factors. Put in place some type of financial buffer, be it a cash reserve plan, a savings plan, some credit lines that you've got to have an idea about what's the biggest, baddest surprise that will probably come my way, and start building a financial buffer zone, an ammunition bunker that you will have to fight some problems as they come your way. When you're first getting started and you're using up all the money and all the credit you got, then maybe what that means is you keep out one credit card with some open credit line that you can get out of an emergency if it comes your way. And diversifying, always one of your very best plans to avoid problems. Okay, the setbacks are coming. I'll tell you that. Through the years, I've probably had at least one major setback every 5 years. I mean, a biggie. The kind of setback that makes you think, I don't know if I will survive this or not. And those are the times when we get back to that four-letter word that stands for intestinal fortitude. You know what that four-letter word is? It stands for intestinal fortitude. It's guts. And sometimes you just have to have the guts to see through setbacks and the determination to say, I have got the endurance to not to fold up and run from this, but to see it through. I don't do that. Am I saying to you that you just need to commit suicide here? No. But am I saying to you, if you're looking out for those red flags that I didn't know to look out for, you can avoid these situations big time. What we've talked about tonight, the learning points, the earning points, and the pivotal points. When you're looking for them now, that inexperienced people don't know how to look for, but y'all do now. When you're looking for these points, you'll make the decisions ahead of time to avoid major setbacks. And that will help you stay in business for the long, long haul. There's big mistakes to be made. You're going to make them. I'm going to make them. We'll make them together. But together we can see through them. So know how to turn what we're talking about now into action. And so how do you do that? Well, you analyze what went wrong. You think about it seriously. Maybe you talk to somebody and say, hey, something's happening here and it's not good. I'm not proud of it, but let me share it with you to see if you can help me analyze what went wrong. That's a big move for entrepreneurs. I mean, you got folks like Mr. Sheffield in his 70s. You got folks like me in my 70s. You got a lot of other people around that's been doing this for many, many years. And by golly, we have all made those mistakes. If they say they haven't, they're lying. I'm just telling you that. We all make mistakes. We all have said some things we wish we hadn't have said, done some things. So know that if you're feeling uncomfortable with where something's headed in your business, talk to somebody. Don't let it keep you up late at night. Let me tell you, talking with someone may help you go to sleep that very night. Otherwise, you may worry about it for weeks. So look for some help. Reach out. Make sure you're talking with someone in confidence that's got your best interest at heart. So you don't need to spread your dirty laundry out across the community, of course, but find people in confidence that you can trust, and that's a good thing to do. I am happy to serve that role for you and in confidence. And there'll be times that I'll tell you, damn if I know, hadn't been there, but I know somebody that can help us. I can refer you. That's the kind of honesty you want from someone. You don't want to go to someone that's trying to be a know-it-all and pretend that they know it all. Those people scare me. In the old Coast Guard days, we called those sea lawyers. There's old bosun mates and seamen out on the boat who acted like they were New York lawyers, could tell you everything about everything. They will ruin you. That's not who I want you to go talk to. So embrace the failure as a learning opportunity. Develop resilience. Continually adapt and adjust. We're talking about mature entrepreneurship here. Keep the momentum going. You got to remember that if you're standing still, you're backing up in business. We've got to keep moving forward. And sometimes that's the hardest part. It's easier to say, I'm going to rest here a minute, and I'm going to let my business just stop and reevaluate everything. I'm going to pull over and take a detour to see if I can see any red flags way down the road. I'm not preaching that. No, I'm saying we got to keep rolling, but we need to keep our radar on and our periscope up to keep being motivated, keep being positive. The very minute that you say, I don't take a time out here and rest a few minutes, and you're headed for the graveyard because your competition is already passing you the very minute you're thinking about that. And I don't want to say that so critical it sounds corny, but in reality, in business, it never stops. You're moving forward or you're moving back because the whole world is moving us around us. I am saying that it's okay to put it in low gear sometimes. It's okay to not go full speed ahead, but put it in low gear and get over in position to take that exit that we've been talking about. So talking in theoretically now. You want your company to be strong. You want to be proud of it. You want to say, I'm going to build something that's worth holding on to. I'm proud of my company. I don't have my mission, vision, and promise statements out there and live up to them. And when I bring people on board, rule number one is I'm going to hire the best and not worry about the rest. If you're hiring the best, then you're going to move forward in a good way. And you'll still make some mistakes. You'll get some surprises. But if you go into hiring people, bringing team people around you that are less than high quality, you're making a bad move. And I know that sometimes things get so critical, we take anything we can get Well, when you do that, right now that is big on the risk management list, but you got to do it. So what's the next step on the risk management list? Is take anything you can get and immediately see if they're trainable. Don't take the chance on turning them loose on your customers until you see if they're trainable. And if they're not trainable, then move them on, set them free, let them go mess up somebody else's business, because that's what they're going to do to you. They're going to cost you a lot of money. If they're trainable, maybe there's a chance that they'll make it for the long term. What is mission accomplished all about? No, President George W. Bush one time went out on an aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean and put up a great big sign that said, "Mission accomplished. We have won this war." Well, that backfired on him, because, like always, when you make a final statement, you've done something big, and that's the end of it. It's always going to backfire with you. I doubt we can ever see George W. put up a sign that says "Mission accomplished" again. And he did some really great things in his presidency, and I didn't vote for him, but I do love him because I think he was pretty much transparent. What he wanted you to, what he had on his mind, that's what he told you, and I appreciated that with him. And he did a great job after 9/11. But putting up the mission accomplished sign and having all that press, that backfired on him. But I want to tell you right now, it's perfectly good for you to get to a point you can say mission accomplished. The key here is knowing what your missions are. And instead of saying completed, accomplished, I like to say completed. And the way you get there is you complete one little message at a time. Don't think that I am encouraging you to not to wait until you're a millionaire and you have a great big 33 stores like Carly C's before you say mission accomplished. I would say that Carly C's mission accomplished. His first one was after he indeed got past his landlord kicking him out, trying to take over his business. That was a big deal. And when he was able to open up his own store on his own feet and not have to pay somebody else rent, that's mission accomplished. When you get your first client and you get a good employee serving them and they're happy, Veronica, mission accomplished. And you take these mission accomplished signs and plaster your wall with them. I'd like for you to have a mission accomplished sign over every one of the certificates that I'm going to send you guys. Because each time you make a step forward, that's solid. That's solid. Pat yourself on the back, because that's the beauty of entrepreneurship. Just getting one step at a time and moving forward and staying in this game, because it's hard to stay in the game. To ever get to a final mission accomplished for old Steve-O, yeah, it's when y'all come to my funeral and we all sing some really special songs to me, like Abraham, Martin, and John. That'd be one of my favorite songs, because those guys are dead and gone, but you know what? Their legacy lives on. Abraham, Martin, and John. They all died wrong. They all died young, but they all did good, right? That's what we want to say. Mission accomplished. Indeed, their mission didn't last very long, but it was accomplished. So what are you going to do? What will your legacy be? Where will you say mission accomplished? And what I'm encouraging you to do is take the little wins as you go and be happy to do it. It's the little wins that keep us in the game. Yeah, there's going to be some little losses and some big losses, but it's the little wins you get that keep you in the game. Attending a class tonight and feeling like when it's over with, I'm a winner. I wrote down some things tonight that's going to make a positive difference in the way I run my business for the rest of my life. That's a little win. It gives you that self-confidence that tomorrow when you're talking with a customer and you share with them something that you feel that's important and you feel your humanity coming out in your presentation, we both won. We all won. That's what we want to do. So I get very personal here. It is personal. It's not all just business. It gets real personal sometimes, especially with old Carver here. So launch your products. Find these profit centers that you're at. Find the things that you feel like you're reaching new targets with in a way that you can, in your own way, very personal way, know that you're getting there. Know that you're making progress. And your success is on the right path. It's going to be a bumpy road, especially your first few years, until you get the golden goose marketing plan working for you, and you start getting customer feedback that's helping you put your business plan together. It will be pretty roughy, pretty rocky. So you got a lot of folks pulling for you, but it's going to be your personal integrity and fortitude that sees you going through. So I know that all of us can enjoy some mission accomplished moments. I'm saying don't wait till the very end, hoping for the great big gala and hullabaloo. Take your wins as they come along and be very proud of them and moving forward. I remember the first time I was awarded Business of the Week in Dunn, North Carolina. And Dunn is a small town, no doubt 10,000 folks. And the first time I got that award, we'd probably been in business for 20 years. Yeah. A lot of other things going on. We were small, but finally we got Business of the Week. And that was a great moment. That was a mission accomplished. I got that thing going on. Since then, I think we've received the award maybe 3 or 4 more times through the years, and it's just as important each time. The first time is the big deal. First time. How do you get those little things? You have to brag on yourself somewhat. Yeah. Again, as I've preached to you earlier, it's up to you to tell the world what a great business you have. There's nobody else's responsibility to do it. Justin, you're doing a fantastic job with that, as good as anyone I've ever seen, so you keep up that work. And Christina, I know you're a one-woman show right now, but you're putting out good stuff. It'll pay good dividends for you in the long time. Keep that up. Mission accomplished. You know, you're in the game, and that's really, really important. So we need to work together to bring vision to life. I talk about all these visual things and pie in the sky type stuff, but right now you can, in every customer you talk to, in every email, and every presentation, start putting the meat in the pot. Let's get out of the soup and start putting some meat and potatoes in this marketing pot, in this messaging pot that we're putting out there, because, my friends, there is a greatness in you. You're going to do great things. Your business is going to make a difference with folks, provided you have the heart to keep moving it forward and make this vision that's in your life become real. And as you're doing that, you're going to indeed start creating your own legacy as you go. How does that sound? I believe that. Next Monday, the generation thing. And boy, does all this tie together? It's just one circle and we include all this in this recipe, it will make sense for the long haul, and I know that it will. Reminder, if there's anywhere in the world you can come to Clinton on Thursday night, May the 14th, and meet our fellow classmates, we'd love to see you do it, no doubt. I promise you we'll have a little something to eat for you and get you out of there by 8 or 8:15 so you can get home at a reasonable time. There'll be no charge. And if you want certificates, we'll make the presentations then. But this is a chance to get together face-to-face, and our director over there, Bart Rice, is really looking forward for everybody coming. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's presentation. The flags, the pivotal points. Do all of you remember what they are? Learning, turning, earning. Those are the things in your business where you have to make adjustments from time to time. Earning would say, with these profit centers, I'm not going to get where I've got to get. I need to make some changes here. Learning is saying, there's things going on out here in this world that I don't understand, that I need some education. Maybe it's beyond me to get it, but I need to bring someone in to help me understand, to help me navigate this situation. Be honest enough with yourself not to pretend to be a know-it-all. That's a big deal. And turning is saying, uh-oh, something's going wrong here. I'm seeing some opportunities that I don't know how to take advantage of. I'm seeing some things happening in my business that just don't feel right. And I need to get in another lane so I can exit off here and go in another direction. That's hard to do sometimes when you've got a business plan that's telling you to go this way, stay straight in line. And I've told you how important that structure is to keep you in your lane. But now I'm coming here with a curveball telling you sometimes we got to exit. Sometimes we got to exit. And folks like Mr. Sheffield, that's been around a long time with CPAs, he can give you some good advice, but he'd be the first one to tell you that CPAs, and I'm not making light of possession, but CPAs are bean counters. They count beans and they add up and they analyze and such as that. But that doesn't mean that they know all there is to know about selling your product or delivering your service. So they can help you analyze the beans, the counting, the cash flow. But there's also advice that you need to find from people that understand the selling point, the marketing point, what's the reality of this. Because my CPA for 50 years, a dear friend and trusted friends, told me more than 3 times I needed to go back that afternoon and close Carver equipment down and sell out. Yeah, he said, no way in H are you going to make it, Steve. Well, I listened to him, I loved him, and usually I took his advice, but 3 or 4 times I left his office saying, you're full of something. This business has been here a long time, and I ain't going to cover it up just because you don't know how to sell tractors. So we went back. So did our friendship ever vary? No, and he was the first to tell me the year after. He said, I don't believe you did this, and I've written it down my book not to give that advice to anybody else, you know. So even CPAs can learn something new every now and then. And every one of us are in the same boat. Y'all are light up my life. Just the opportunity to know that maybe I can share this with you enough that it will sink in and help you have a business that makes it for the long term. God bless you all. I love you. I wish the best for you. I look forward to talking generations next week. And I look forward to working with you. Andre, we've been missing you. Glad to have you back. And all the rest of you. And Hope, God bless you and all that you're trying to do to help people. Thank you for coming back to us from over in the mountains. We're always glad to see you. Any comments will be appreciated.
Hey, Steve. I've been over here cracking up on you all throughout the class. I just want to say thank you, and I really enjoyed tonight's content.
What does cracking up mean? What do you mean by that?
I've been over here laughing ever since the very beginning when you were saying, you know, when you put the picture up there about the mule looking at the north end. And I wrote some stuff in the chat. I mean, I was over here cracking up. We just laughing at you. I was over here rolling.
Okay. I want you all to give Veronica a hand for letting her look at us for this whole class. Thank you, Veronica. It means so much when I can look someone in the eye and teach a class rather than the symbols. So you shaking your head and smiling is great inspiration. So thank you so much. And
I agree with her. It's fun listening to you and encouraging everyone, and I just want to continue to encourage everyone too to keep going. Don't give up.
Thank you so much. Yes. Who's that? Okay, Sheffield.
I'm going to be a little firmer than you were on one point. You mentioned about Bush, and Bush is the guy that famously said, read my lips. Well, I put this in the chat. Do not co-mingle personal and business funds. I have seen that create problems with the IRS. I've seen it create problems with the bank. Spend the money to get a business bank account.
I understand. That's a great point, and thank you so much.
And then finally, on your point about being happy, I've walked away from being a millionaire 3 times because I wanted my business to survive in 2 stoplight town Warsaw So while I don't have a Mercedes-Benz or a place in Bright Beach, I have happiness for what I've done here in this little town, and to me, that is more valuable than the money.
Well said. I'd say that is that's wonderful, and I'm so proud of you. And you're making the point that I'm trying to make. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, Andre, we're glad to have you back. I hope you've been safe on the road. And Devin, where are you located?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, Andre. How's things with you?
It's going. It's been busy. That's what it's been. It's been busy a lot. Truck driver and with my travel business, it has been super duper busy. I added on some credentials with my travel business, so now I'm certified in sensory feelings, special needs like autism and Down syndrome. And people like that, I guess. So I got certified in that. So now it's taken off now because people didn't have the knowledge that even though you have a child or you might have an adult that have Down syndrome or either autism, they still can go on a cruise or on vacation, family vacation.
How interesting. That is wonderful. And how about putting that in some type of fact sheet and sharing it with everybody so we can help you let other people know that service is available?
Yes, sir.
That'd be great. Well, congratulations. Have you had any progress in your mobile transportation business?
It's about to take off, so not quite yet with the vehicle, but I've been getting a lot of contracts.
Good for you. So thank you. Give your wife my best regards as well.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Hey, Devin, how are you tonight? Where are you located? I do catch people off guard sometimes. I know that. think we've talked to about everyone. All right. Well, like they say at Walton's Mountain, good night, John Boy. We'll see you next time.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.